Hello and welcome to chair yoga. Start to set yourself up so you're sitting on the edge of your chair, but that you still feel well supported with your hips on your seat. And then take your knees about hip distance apart and line up your ankles right underneath your knees. Use an inhale to lift tall, roll your shoulders onto your back, and let your hands rest on your lap, at your sides, or on your armrests. From here, allow your eyes to close. Bring your focus to your natural rhythm of breath, in and out of the nose. Tune into that sensation of air at the nostrils. Notice if you can feel a slight breeze along your upper lip. Follow your inhale all the way back through your nasal passages into the back of the throat. Notice how it feels to let your breath move through your body. Then start to draw your hands together to touch at your heart center. Press your palms into one another and allow your fingertips to connect. Bring your wrists in line with your elbows and then press your thumbs in towards your heart space. Take another inhale and lift tall to the very top of your head, and on your exhale, bow your head towards your hands. Take a big breath. Then softly open your eyes and release your hands back down to your legs. Re-engage your shoulders onto your back and take a nod of your head. Stretching the throat as you look up, the back of the neck as you look down. And then bring your head back into center. Take a shake of your head no. Keep your shoulders on your back as you look to the left and the right. And then with your head back in center, roll your shoulders onto your back. Take your knees a little bit wider than your hips and turn your hands up so you can rest the back of your hands on your legs. From here, drop right ear to right shoulder and take a big breath into the left side of the neck. Inhale, take your right hand to the outside edge of your head. Give a gentle press and take another big breath. Inhale, come back to center. Re-engage your shoulders back. Drop left ear to left shoulder and take a big breath. Left hand comes to the outside edge of the head. Give a gentle press. One more full breath here. Inhale, come back to your tall spine. You're going to lift your hands up off your knees. You can take your knees a little bit closer to one another again. Rotate your palms towards the wall behind you. Re-engage your shoulders onto your back and leave your elbows bent in at your sides. From here, you're going to shrug your shoulders up towards your ears and then exhale, re-engage them onto your back. Take your shrugs. You can do them a little faster or a little slower, so whatever feels better. You might feel some crunchy, crackly, poppy sensation here. We're just working up or breaking up all of the tension that we build here. The tops of the shoulders, the upper back. Good. Go ahead and release your hands at your sides. Give your shoulders a shake. A little roll forward. A little roll back. Inhale, hands up towards the sky. Exhale your hands down to your heart. Inhale and reach. Exhale your hands directly out from your shoulders. From here, you're going to bend your elbows and bring your hands to your tops of your shoulders. Start to draw either small or large circles with your elbows in one direction. Good. Then switch the direction of your elbow circles. One more in this direction. Good. Then relax your arms down by your sides. Give your shoulders another shake. You're going to take your hand to the right side of your seat or maybe the leg of your chair and press your right hand down or engage into the grip of the leg. Take your left arm up towards the sky, and then you're going to press your left hip into your chair as you lean over to the right. Take a big breath. Inhale, come back up. Left hand comes to the seat or the leg of the chair. Press your right hip into your seat and then take right hand up towards the sky. Exhale and lean over to the left. Inhale, come back to center. From here, take your knees a little bit wider than your hips, hands to your knees. Inhale, let your belly come forward. Take your gaze up towards the sky. Exhale, start to curl through the spine. Take your gaze down towards the floor. Inhale, let your pelvis tilt forward, your heart space come forward. Exhale, use your hands at your knees as you stretch the back body. Keep going with your breath. Let's do one more round. Then inhale, come back to your tall spine. Bring your feet back right underneath your knees. And then you're going to lift up tall, roll your shoulders onto your back and take a hold of the seat or the legs of your chair. Reach your both legs about a foot out in front of you so you still have a bend in the knees. And then flex your feet. Reach your toes towards your shins and take a big breath. Point your toes as far as you can. Another full breath. Good. Flex and point. Flex and point. Flex and point. Then bring your feet back up to a flex. You're going to draw circles in one direction with both feet. Let yourself move slowly so you can wake up all the little muscles in both ankles, both feet, both sets of toes. Switch the direction of your circles with your ankles. One more in this direction. Good. And then come back to center. Bring your footprints back to the floor, right underneath your knees. And then again, lift up tall. Engage the muscles of your core. You're going to lift your right knee up into your hand. You're always welcome to use a strap here around the foot or the knee, if that is better for you. And then with your hand at your knee, you're going to start to draw circles in one direction. Now these can be small circles, or they can be really large. So you decide what feels better. Try to stay tall and lifted through the spine. And switch the direction of your knee circles. Good. One more in this direction. And then bring your knee back to center, lift up tall, draw your knee as close to your torso as it can go or feels good. Tuck your chin down towards your chest and start to curl through the spine. Take a big breath into that space between your shoulder blades. Inhale, come back up to that tall spine. You're going to help cross right ankle over left knee. Now, if that doesn't feel good today, you're always welcome to just cross ankles instead. With your ankle on your knee, flex your foot, take your hands to your hips and lift tall. Let your knee open to the side as far as it feels comfortable, so it's okay if it's not as open. And then from your hips, you're hinging forward to fold over your legs. You can walk your hands down your legs if that feels good. Stay long through the spine, shoulders on your back. One more big breath down into that right hip crease. Inhale, come back up. Help bring that knee into center. And then you're going to take your left hand around your bent leg, take your right hand to the back of the chair, roll your shoulders on your back, and on your exhale, draw in your low belly, low ribs to help you twist a little bit more. Inhale, come back to center, and help bring that footprint to the floor. Lift up tall, you're going to bring left knee into your hand, and then from here, small or large circles in one direction. Working through our hip crease, our hip joint. And then switch the direction of your knee circles. Keep your shoulders relaxed, down and away from your ears. And then bring your knee back to center, draw in towards your heart space. Lift up tall, then tuck your chin down towards your chest. Curl through the top of the spine and breathe into your back. Inhale, come back up to your tall spine. Help cross either left ankle over knee or just cross your ankles. Let your knee open comfortably to the side and then flex your foot. Hands at your hips, lift tall, and then walk your hands forward as you fold. Now you don't have to fold very far here. Allow your heart space to be open, reaching forward as you fold. Take one more big breath into that left hip crease. Good. Inhale, come back up to your tall spine. Help draw that knee into center. Take your right hand around your bent leg, left hand to the back of the chair. Roll your shoulders onto your back, and then on your exhale, draw in your low belly and low ribs. Inhale, come back to center, and help bring that footprint to the floor. Ankles right underneath knees. Inhale, arms wide towards the sky. Exhale your hands down to your heart. Inhale and reach. Exhale, start to hinge at the hips, fold over your legs. You're always welcome to walk your arms down your legs if that feels better. Inhale, bring your hands to your knees and lengthen through your spine. Exhale, fold as far as it feels comfortable for you. Inhale, press your feet into the floor, rise back to your mountain. Exhale, hands to your third eye. Inhale and reach. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, lengthen to your half forward fold. Exhale, fold farther. Press your feet into the floor. Inhale, rise to mountain. Good. Exhale your hands down by your sides. From here, take your knees about as wide as they feel comfortable. And then you're going to line up your ankles right underneath your knees and let your knees and ankles point, or not ankles, toes point in the same direction. Take your hands to the inner thigh or the knees, and you're giving just a gentle press to help open up through the hips, giving a little stretch to those inner thighs. You're welcome to do a slight fold forward, a little hinge, but you can skip that if it doesn't feel good. One more big breath. Good. Inhale, come back up. If you did, lean forward and heel toe those feet back in. We're going to move our right hip and right thigh to the edge of our chair. Take a 90-degree angle with your legs for just a moment, and then set up your right ankle underneath your right knee. Now, from here, bring your hands to your chair. You're going to start to extend that left leg, leave a little bend in the knee, and then you're welcome to open this hip as far as it feels comfortable. So you decide the angle of your leg, and then press your feet into the floor so much that it feels like you're starting to lift a little bit up off your chair. From here, you're going to take your hands to your hips, open your heart space towards your extended leg. So you're sideways over your right knee. You're going to drop your elbow to your knee, hinge to the side, press your elbow into your leg and open up through the heart space. Maybe take your top arm up towards the sky or over your ear in your open gate. One more big breath here. Good. Inhale, come back up to your tall spine. Hands at your hips. This time you're going to start to hinge towards your bent leg so that you're lining up sideways with your extended leg. From here, bring your hand to the top of the hip, the top of the thigh, or maybe the middle of the thigh. And then you're going to lift up through your heart space, take your top arm up towards the sky. You are welcome to hinge towards your bent leg as far as you'd like. Whatever you do, don't put any weight on that knee. Good. One more big breath in your closed gate. Inhale, come back up to your tall spine, hands to your chair, and heel toe that foot back in. We're going to move to our other side. So set up your left hip, left thigh on the edge of your chair. Take 90 degrees with your legs for just a moment. Line up your ankle underneath your knee, and then with your hands at your chair, start to extend that right leg and open it as much as you like. It might be a different angle on this other side. Now press your feet into the floor, feel that engagement of your legs. Take your hands to your hips and start to hinge towards your extended leg, lining up sideways with your bent knee. Bend your elbow and drop your elbow to your leg, and then press your arm into your knee so you're opening up through the heart space. Take your top arm up towards the sky or maybe over your head. Take a big breath. On your next inhale, come back up to your tall spine. From here, hands at your hips, hinge towards your bent knee, lining up sideways with the extended leg. Leave a little bend in that knee, hand at the thigh, and then take left arm up towards the sky. You decide how far you're going to fold. One more big breath. Inhale, come back up, hands to your chair, and help bring that foot back in. From here, we're moving our right hip, right thigh back to the edge of our seat. Come to 90 degrees and set up your right ankle and knee. And then this time, you're going to let your knee come down, draw your leg back close to you. Hands at your chair, you're going to hinge forward and slide those toes back into your high lunge. Walk your hands up to your hips and help square your hips towards the right side of your seat. And then press the feet into the floor. See if you can lift a little bit up off your chair. Squeeze your legs towards one another. You're going to take your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale and reach. Exhale, hands back to your seat. You're going to take left hand to the outside edge of the right knee or thigh. Start to twist to the right. Inhale, come back to center. Take a hold of your chair and lean forward. And you can either drag or heel toe that foot back in. We're going to do our lunge on our other side. So set up left hip and thigh comfortably on your seat. Line up ankle underneath knee. And then with your hands at your chair, you're going to lean forward, let that knee turn down. You can bring your foot closer to yourself and then slide your toes back. And then walk your hands up to your hips and help square the hips. You decide how long your stance is. So you can always have your foot closer if that feels better. From there, press your feet into the floor and squeeze your legs towards one another. If you feel comfortable, inhale, hands up towards the sky. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale and reach. Exhale, hands back to your seat. Right hand goes to the outside edge of the knee or the thigh. Start to twist to the left. Good. Inhale, come back to center. Hands at your seat, lean forward and slide those toes back in. From here, we're going to go ahead and get up out of our chairs. Let's come to the left side of our seat first. You're going to put your right foot underneath the middle of your chair, your toes pointing towards the seat. And then from here, you're going to step back 2 to 3 feet. You decide how long your stance is. And then you're going to turn your toes so they're pointing forward. Take your hands to your hips and you're going to shift your hips to the left. After you do that, you should already start to feel a little stretch through the inner thigh on the right side. And then from here, start to hinge sideways. You can walk your hand down your leg, bring your hand to the back of your chair or to the seat. You decide how far you're going to fold. Send your hips to the left. And if it would feel good, you can take your top arm up towards the sky. Take a big breath. Bring that hand back to your hip. Slowly inhale, come back up. Good. Bend to that front knee. I'm going to move to my other side. You're welcome to just stay there and switch feet. So now left foot is in the center of the chair, pointing towards the seat. You're going to step back a couple of feet and then let your back toes point forward. Hands to your hips, pop your hips to the right. Feel that stretch on the inner left thigh. And then start to hinge sideways. You can use your hand at your chair or walk your hand down your leg. You decide how far you're going to fold. You're sending your hips out to the right, and if it would feel nice, take your top arm towards the sky. One more big breath here. Hand comes back to your hip. Slowly inhale, back up. Bend into your front knee and step forward. From here, let's move back to the left side of the chair. You're going to take your feet hip distance apart. And then from here, roll your shoulders up onto your back and lift up tall through the very top of your head. You're going to bring your right hand to your chair and shift your weight to your right foot. Left hand to your hip. Come up onto your left tippy toes. And then turn your knee out as far as it feels comfortable. Now, if this is where you feel the most supported and balanced, you're welcome to stay here. Or I'll invite you to bring your foot to the inside of your ankle, maybe to your calf, or even to the inner thigh. Wherever it feels best, you decide. And then tone your low belly slightly, tuck your tailbone down towards your heels. You're going to bring your left hand to the inside of your leg and give just a gentle press. Open up that hip a little bit more. From there, take your gaze over to the right to continue your twist in your chair or tree pose. Take a big breath. Inhale, bring your head back into center. Use your hand to bring your knee back in, and then let your foot come to the floor. We're going to move to the right side of our chair again. Take your feet about hip distance apart. Roll your shoulders onto your back and then engage the muscles of your core. Start to shift your weight into your left foot, and you're going to pick up your right toes and turn your right knee out. You can stay here or bring your foot to your ankle, your calf, or the inner thigh, and maybe you choose to do a different place on this other side. Help square your hips and reach your tailbone slightly down towards your heels. You're going to bring right hand into the inner thigh and give a gentle opening of the hip. And then take your gaze over to the left. Take a big breath. One more full breath here. Inhale, bring your head back into center. Help draw that knee in, and then gently release your foot to the floor. From there, you're going to come around to the very back of your seat, and then bring your hands to the back of your chair. With your feet about hip distance apart, you're going to start to walk your feet back. Leave a bend in the knees and start to hinge at your hips as you fold. Go to about as far as you can where you can still reach your chair. And then with that bend in the knees, start to rotate your inner thighs in towards one another. Send your sit bones back and broad. Reach through your hips and see if you can get them farther away from your shoulders. Take a big breath into your back body. Leave a bend in the knees and sway your hips slightly left and right so you're lengthening from hip to armpit on each side. Both heels are planted here. Take one more to each side and then back into center with your hips. Slowly walk your feet back towards your chair. Go ahead and come around to the front of your seat. And then you're going to stand where you can almost feel the chair touching the back of your legs. Take your feet inner hip distance apart. Pick up your toes and spread your toes and then grip the ground with your feet. Give yourself a little bend in the knees and tone your low belly as you tilt your tailbone down towards your heels. Roll your shoulders onto your back. We're going to bring our hands together at our hearts. From here, you're going to start to bend your knees and lower your hips. Stay lifted through your heart space and then shift your shins back so your weight is in your heels. Try to send your sit bones back and broad and then see if you can lower your hips a little bit more. Good. One more big breath here. And then take your hands back to your seat. Slowly lower yourself into your chair. Bring yourself back, your hips to the very edge of your chair. And then line up those knees, hip distance apart. Roll your shoulders onto your back. Take your hands to the back of the seat, or maybe the chair, or where your hips are, or the back. So either one whatever feels better for you. And then with your shoulders on your back, let your pelvis tilt forward, your belly come forward, take your gaze up towards the sky, Lean forward a little bit, take a big breath. Good. Inhale, come back to your tall spine, hands to your knees, tuck your chin down towards your chest and curl through the spine. Inhale, come back up. You're going to reach right hand towards the sky and take a big breath to expand your rib cage. Exhale, right hand to the outside edge of your left leg, your knee, whatever feels better. Left hand comes to the back of your chair. Roll your shoulders onto your back and twist to the left. Inhale, back to center. Left hand goes up towards the sky. Breathe into your ribs. Exhale, hand down to the outside edge of your knee or leg. Right hand to the back of the chair. Roll your shoulders back and twist to the right. Inhale and come back to center. From here, I'll turn sideways so you can see. You're going to extend your legs out as far as you can reach with your footprints on the floor. Make sure you're not locking out your knees, so you still have a slight bend here. Hands to your hips, lift up tall, and then hinge forward. Start to walk your hands down your legs. Try to stay long through the spine, shoulders on your back as you fold. If it would feel really good and you'd like to do it, you're welcome to curl through the spine. If that doesn't feel good, please feel free to skip it. One more big breath here. And then on your inhale, lengthen through the spine first. Walk your hands up your legs as you come back up. Bring your feet back underneath your knees. And then from here, you're going to make fists with your hands out in front of you. Take your elbows to a 90-degree angle. Elbows right in line with your shoulders. And then start to rotate through your wrists without moving your elbows. Start to roll your fists in one direction. And switch the direction of your, what are those, wrist circles? And then you're going to tuck your fingers underneath your thumb and flick your fingers like you're trying to flick paint. Good. Go ahead and give that a shake. You can sit all the way back into your chair here. Roll your shoulders onto your back, and we're going to do a little bit of eye yoga before we close. Take your gaze up towards the ceiling without moving your head, as high as you can, and then look down at the floor, again without moving your head. Look up and down, up and down, up, down, up, down. And then allow your eyes to close and take a full breath. Softly open your eyes. This time you're going to look all the way over to the right as far as you can, and then over to the left. Keep going right to left without moving your head. Right, left, right, left. One more. And then allow your eyes to close. Softly open your eyes. Take your gaze up towards the ceiling, over to the left, down towards the floor, and over to the right. Back up to the ceiling, to the left, down to the right, up, left, down, right, and then allow your eyes to close. And then softly open your eyes, take your gaze up towards the ceiling. This time look over to the right, down, left, up, right, down, left, up, right, down, left, up, and then allow your eyes to close. Take a big breath. Softly open your eyes and draw your hands together. You're going to start to rub your hands together and build heat between your palms. Get your hands nice and warm. And then draw your palms to rest over your eyes. Close your eyes and allow them to relax behind your eyelids and take a big breath. Allow your eyelids to stay closed. You're going to draw your hands together to touch at your heart center. Roll your shoulders back onto your back. I'd like to thank you for joining me today, and I hope that you have a very wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.